Hello. I would like to explain you about the idea which I wrote you about. We know that probably you already tired about Ukraine news, but just imagine how tired people who live there without electricity and with all that bombing. And if we are talking about tourism industry, so still without business actually. So we still want to end it as soon as possible, and we hope really for your help in that. Because as tourism industry, we can do whatever we can do in our fields, and that's what I would like to talk with you about. So Ukraine still needs your support, and how it can be done now. Um, it could be three ways how tourism industry can help. One of the topics is what I would like to discuss today. This is corporate social responsibility budget, but not yours, but corporate clients. Most of you have corporate clients, and you know we are cooperating with you B2B. So we counting on your help with communication with your corporate clients regarding their corporate social responsibility budget. We know for many years that in November, December, they are planning new budget for next year, and it is always based on the spendings of the current year. And normally in November, December, they making two process together. One is planning their next budget, and second, they are trying to spend what left from their from this year corporate social responsibility budget. And this could be an idea to spend this budget to help Ukraine. Another point how tourism community can help. This is volunteer and solidarity tourism. This is really big topic. I will probably make another Zoom dedicated just to this topic, and also idea of organization of rehabilitation camps for Ukrainian children. This has two aims, both rehabilitation and help to tourism community of Ukraine, which is suffering a lot right now. But now let's continue with the first topic, the topic about corporate social responsibility budget. And I would like to repeat, yes, this nowadays corporate clients are looking for this idea, and it would be really, really great help if you could reach them and suggest our idea. You can use this presentation, or you can make your own. This is available in PowerPoint, so this could be your benefit to additional contact to them right now. And as far as I know, and I've contacted my corporate clients around the world, they really appreciate if someone gives them idea how they can spend it. So this is one of the options, but normally they were afraid to sending just the money or goods because they didn't know how to control the process. But I would like to tell that here we are on spot in Ukraine, that we can help you to control, and you can provide proofs to your clients, and then I'll tell you a little bit how we plan to do it. We have already a successful case who inspired us for this Zoom. This is Michelle Becker from Events Link Africa, and with her UK client, they made 5 easy steps and helped Ukraine. They decided to help Ukrainian children. Then they announced fundraising across their employees and partners. Then also they added their corporate CSR budget and purchased the goods for children. They like packed it in special boxes for girls and boys, and their humanitarian dispatch is already on the way to Ukraine, and we are going right now. So we are going to meet it very soon and distribute it to those volunteer centers who are in charge for children in the occupied territories of Ukraine, because you know Ukraine is very big. It's biggest country in Europe, and the occupied territories are really suffered a lot. And there are still children who are living in tent camps, so they need just basic things. They require warm clothes, blankets, really simple things which can help them to survive during this winter. Simple things like pampers, long-term food and everything. And also for the moment, since the 10th of October, 40% of Ukrainian electricity system is ruined. So it's quite often when people are living without possibility to cook and warm their food or make a tea easily because there is no electricity. The children cannot make online schooling because there were really bad connection when the electricity is off. So yes, there are some problems in any part of Ukraine, but they are different. And Michelle, with her team, they decided to help children in the occupied territories with the particular goods. So they bought the goods themselves, so they could control what goods they are buying and how they send them. And our representative will meet their track on the border, supervise the volunteer center personally. So we will have the proof that we received the this humanitarian aid, and that we will distribute it to particular volunteer centers. So we will have certain proof how we did it. And also, you know, us, we work with your trust for many years already, and for us it's important to help our country at the moment and to make our victory as soon as possible, each one on their step. So two easy ways how to spend CSR to help Ukraine. This is one of the options is to buy particular goods for humanitarian aid, like I just explained. Our colleague Michelle did. From our side, we will supervise delivery from the Ukrainian border to trusted volunteer centers or aimed recipients, depending on what goods you are sending. Again, we will control the distribution process to avoid any anything. And then we will control providing proof to you. So we will make the photos and videos and we will file them and send to you so you can prove to your client how it was done, where, when, and so on, with all the proof. And there are some clients, they really don't want to bother them with the purchasing goods, with their all this stuff with the delivery, because it requires some certain documents, of course, because you have to show that this is humanitarian aid, and we need to make a permission for volunteer who will pick up the goods on the border. And we have to show to the customs that it's not import but humanitarian aid. So there are some certain documents required to proceed with their option with the sending goods, but still some companies, they want to control the process or send their own products. Another way which some companies considers is more easy way is to make donation. But they usually think where to make donation. It's so much of the initiative, so much of the funds, and so on. So we here provide you the list of the funds which we trust, which we donate. Of course, there are quite more and many of them, most of them are okay and trusted, but we work with these funds. We had experience with them, or they are quite good trust from the government in them. So we recommend you to use these funds. But if you want us to control how your donations can be spent, and I would like to ask you not to promise your clients that we can do it with the small donations like 50 euros, because it requires quite a lot of work. That's why we're making this, let's say, for donations from, let's say, 1,000 euros. But of course, we can make always exception if you ask us, because our partners is everything for us. So how we do it? You choose the fund before you donating. You inform your client, inform you, and you inform us which amount you plan to spend for this donation. We contact the fund in advance, asking them what particular way of goods or helping, what they plan to do with this money. We inform you. If your client is okay with this, then we proceed. And then we again contacting the fund and asking them for proof for agreed um, way of donation, and that's the value which we provide, because normally when you just donate, but for corporate social responsibility budget, in most cases they would need the proof how they spend it. And this is the value which we add. We contact the fund and discuss with them and provide this proof to you. So we think that this is more acceptable for corporate clients, and that's important for them. Yeah, so these are two ways how we can do this. Then I would like to just show you, and this is available at our webpage, what groups of help it's possible to do. So one is, of course, the big one, and despite it received already a lot of money, but war is a very expensive thing, we still need more and more money for our armed forces, which are making really great success right now and beating, the army which threatened the world for many years. And Ukrainian army is so brave and professional and motivated and doing this uh, daily to defend our territories, but they still need resources. They still need combat medicines. They still need, some cover mats, blankets, some really easy things which company can help. So we do not ask you to buy the helicopters, but it's still possible to help the military buying the simple things like carry mats because it's winter now, or some combat gloves, combat socks, some really simple but required things, because it's already snowing in Ukraine, and just imagine how it's there on the field right now. And of course, the armed forces is our major hope for the quick. We still, we are telling this to us daily. We need quick victory. We are already almost a year in this process, but we still hope for quick. Anyway, armed forces of Ukraine, this is the force which makes our victory real. So one way to help is to donate or buy goods for armed forces. And another way to help, of course, it's humanitarian needs. And yeah, for the armed forces, we recommend two funds. One is United 24, which is initiative of the president. This is one official governmental source, and they have different directions of help. They know what good they are buying and so on. For the moment, they are buying sea drones for war in the sea. So, but everything is just on their web page. You can go there and look what direction of help they do. And also there is a fund which is working since the beginning of war, since 2014, when it is actually started. This is very trusted fund, and they really help a lot, and they just made enormous work to help military. It's called Come Back Alive. You also can reach their webpage and see what they are doing. Another thing is humanitarian needs. It's most of the corporate clients are looking for. They almost every time they're saying that they want to help more in humanitarian direction. So we decided that it could be divided in like several blocks, which is help children. Also, we must undertake that there are funds which were working before the war for many years, of course, who helped really special children, like with children with cancer, children with birth traumas, and different other types of special children who requires help. And these funds are really, really underfinanced right now, because all those people who donated before and who helped those funds, they now focused, like redirected their donations to military needs. So funds who help children and who continue to help children, they are underfinanced at the moment. So that's one direction of help. Also, there are initiatives with the animals. These are two trusted funds. You can help them. They are building shelters. They are buying goods. Also, they are buying the food for zoos, because of course there are no lot of visitors in zoos at the moment, and it means zoos are underfinanced, and they still need money for food for animals and their regular procedures. Also, there is an official fund, humanitarian fund from the Ministry of Social Policy of Ukraine. So government also divide help to military and to humanitarian needs, because they understand that some people and companies, they can only donate to humanitarian needs. Also, as I told, combat medicine is really important thing. There are several funds who are dealing with this direction of work, or there is a list of the content of the always required medicines for the combat medicine backpacks. This we can also send, so if you want to buy something from that list, it's possible too. Also, there is a project of Association of Incoming Tour Operators, which we are board member. We made a few directions of volunteer and social needs at the moment. From the beginning of war, we evacuated people from dangerous cities together with the colleagues from association, and we've done some other projects together, and now we're doing rehabilitation camps for children from families of the soldiers or families who had to flee from their homes. So children are really having psychological traumas, which will continue through their whole life, and we need to make some psychological rehabilitation for them. But it's not like a sessions with the psychologist. These are camps which are going in the safe places. Of course, it's relatively safe, because Ukraine is not completely safe anywhere, but still Carpathian Mountains are is the most safe part of Ukraine, and there are quite nice hotels there in mountains where children can have activities, games, excursions, and all this full life and safe, friendly life process, of course under supervision of psychologists and the professional teachers. So that's important things which we now put our professional tourism skills into. And also there is a second aim in this project, because tourism industry of Ukraine is really suffering a lot at the moment, even much more than during COVID, when everything was stopped. So this project also helps tourism industry of Ukraine, because with the camps, they are accommodated in the hotel, they have food, they have some activities, they have excursions, they visit museums, and all these stakeholders receive some money from the project. So these are two aims: to support children and support tourism industry of Ukraine, and supporting for us because we are part of that industry. And with this project, we are providing some moral and little money help to our suppliers like hotels and so on. This project is completely done on donations, and we already were able to arrange 10 days camp in Carpathian Mountains on the autumn holidays recently by donation, which was financed by one of the big funds. And also we received some private donations, which were enough to make the small shift a week for 8 children in other Carpathian Mountain hotels. So there were two autumn camps already arranged by Association of Incoming Tour Operators on your charity donations. 2 camps, one for 45 children and one for 8 children, and we are continuing to continue fundraising for this project for winter holidays, or as soon as we have enough amount to make the second next shift for children. So first quick reminder that all those funds, you can find their bank details on their web pages, or we can send it to you, whatever is more convenient to you. If we go to the buying goods, so here company can do 2 ways too. One is following the list of the necessities, and most companies, they are trying to connect with their core business. For example, you can see a little list on my presentation, but also it can be, I think every company can decide on themselves what the product they have and what they can send. For example, sport equipment companies can send some tourism things like care mats, camps, sport gloves, sport socks, sport underwear, and these can be really helpful both for military and for people who are living in temporary camp shelters. So company can specify where they want to send this. Cookware companies can send some cookware, some pans, because when people flee from their home, of course they do not take their pans to fry on their new camp shelters. They take just the basic things, and then later on they really don't have cookware to cook for themselves, and they are quite short of money to buy all the new stuff, including the warm clothes, warm boots, which are required right now, things for their children, and cookware products. So a lot of things. And also electronic companies could send their products, like for example, now we really need the power banks or solar panel power banks, because as I told, the 40% of Ukrainian electricity system is ruined. It means that people are staying without electricity minimum 4-6 hours per day. But also there were announcements just a few days ago that we have to be prepared for the electricity offs, not for hours, but for days. It means it will be, now there is a schedule when electricity is off, plus a lot of emergency offs, switch offs, but if it will go on like now, we will have the schedule for the hours when the electricity will be on. And when the electricity is off, there is no connection, no anything. Of course you can work with your computer, yeah, but as long as the battery of notebook is on, and you can do only the work which doesn't require really connection. So, but also the children are going to the school because they cannot make distant learning right now, because there is no connection and there is no light. And those towns who are allowed to accept children in schools, they accept, but children have to go to the basements as soon as air siren radar is on. And just imagine a group of children going down to the basement with no electricity in it. So it's not really very fun to sit several hours in the basement without electricity, and sometimes heating is also off if it's connected with electricity. So you can send, I don't know, some lamps with the generators, or some generators, or even candles. Also, touristic gas heaters can help, because you cannot make a hot tea when the electricity is off, and when you don't have gas stove. So you can be creative and think what could be helpful in such a circumstances. Building companies can send some building materials, or specialists who can help to build temporary housing, or to send building materials for people who are restoring their houses at the moment. Also, are always in need some blankets, warm clothes. Sewing companies can send even remainings of the fabric for the masking nets, which are required right now, like white and ivory fabric, the mask, the nets to make it. So we can help to brainstorm if the client, based on the client's main business. You can tell us, I have a client who want to buy the goods connected with their core business, and we can brainstorm together, looking through the needs, what they can buy and send. And as I told, this project, we take on ourselves project management. We always done the project management of incentive and conference organizations. You know this very, because a lot of you already cooperated with us in that matter. You know us, and thank you for your trust. And here now we take this as project. As I already mentioned, we want to provide the value for your clients and for you, justifying that their money were spent correctly and appropriately, like it's indicated in their corporate social policy. So we would like to work together with you and your client, like we do it during the conferences, and provide the value for you, improving and sending the video, photo proofs, whatever is possible, depending on what direction of help they choose. We hope, of course, that tourism will return to Ukraine soon, and we will be prepared there for you. And we believe that a lot of people will want to see what is this country where Russia so badly wanted, and which is so bravely defended its territory. And also there is a quite really big direction called solidarity and volunteer tourism. When solidarity tourism, it means when people, they want to bring their humanitarian help by their own. So they take it together with us from the border of Ukraine to volunteer centers, to the occupied territories. Of course, we choose the most relatively safe territories. For example, in Kiev region, it's not safe, and you know, there were bombings this week and last week and the week before. But some people still want to supervise their humanitarian help by themselves. They become ambassadors of Ukraine because they see on their own eyes what happened, what people in need, how people need, what they need, what circumstances they live now, how they rebuild their houses and everything, because it's really brave. Even how we rebuilt and rebuilt and rebuilt our electricity system, and they heat and heat and heat, and we continue to go on. So those who want to see it by themselves, both you or your corporate clients, we will be really willing to help with all the arrangements. And this is solidarity tourism, and volunteer tourism is mostly also can be divided on the individuals and incentives, and I'll make the separate Zoom for it, because it's really big topic to talk about. And of course, the corporates would need the safety requirements for that. Okay, that is basically what I wanted to tell you. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. Just send me in WhatsApp or email. And it's not our whole team, but this is our personal responsibility for this project, and we hope for your help. And because, as I stated in my invite, we cannot do this without you. The whole world together is united to stop this war and defend the territory and to make the victory and just to live on the safe and peaceful planet again. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm waiting for your questions, for your suggestions, and hopefully you will talk with your corporate clients regarding this idea. And if even some of them would make it, I believe it's really great success. And I thank you very much for everything. Okay, well, let's be in touch, and thank you. See you soon, hopefully on some exhibitions. And in Ukraine, of course, as soon as it is safe for your visit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye.